What's going on YouTube? It's AKingsCreation again, bringing you guys another build video. Now we have officially moved from staff daggers to staff spear. Staff spear is my favorite combination now. It is so powerful. I have not lost a 1v1 against a great sword user yet. Now, I'm not saying I'm the best in the game, but I'm just telling you how powerful this build can really be used in the right hands. Now it is CC based, but it also does a lot of damage on PvP side and on PvE side. I do not switch. So it doesn't give you the full PvE DPS if you were to just build for PvE, but it does work overall. So I'm going to go ahead and break it down. And also in a separate video, I will create a skill rotation. I know a lot of people have been asking me for that. So I will be creating a skill rotation in another video. So if you guys are interested in a full breakdown of this build, make sure you guys stick around and subscribe and like this video. Let's get into it. So here's a quick overview of the build right now. We're going to go ahead and start from left to right, and I'm going to explain everything and why it's like a mix of meta and not meta yet. So we're going to go ahead and break it down. Let's go ahead and start with the stats. All right, so with the stats, we're going to go 50 strength, 50 dexterity, and 50 perception. Now with these buffs, it gives me heavy attack chance up to 100, and then movement speed up to 5%. And also range up to 7.5%, and everything in purple highlighted is what I also get, right? So you want to work towards it. A lot of people are starting to go to fortitude, but that's up to you if you want some endurance on your build. I use endurance, but I'll explain that further. Moving on to the weapons, we got the harpoon for our spear, and I've talked about this in an actual video. I broke it down why this was the best build. I mean, best weapon, especially for this build, right? Then we're going to move on to the talus. Now, I know a lot of people don't have talus yet, so we're going to go ahead and talk about the alternative. The alternative to the talus, what I would recommend using, right? So this is an alternative. It got ability where magic, melee, and range critical hit chance is goes up by 20 per 1 meter of distance between you and the target, right? So, but other than that, we're going to go with the heroic hood. And then we got these traits on it. We got range endurance, range evasion, magic evasion. Then we're going with the tapestry mantle. Then we got skill damage, resistance, max health, debuff duration. Then we're going with phantom wolf, magic evasion, range endurance. Heroic grips, range evasion, magic evasion, range endurance. Then we're going with the two-piece shadow harvester. We got range endurance, range evasion, magic evasion, range evasion, range endurance for the boots. And then I will be using the Clasp of Conqueror because I really want that extra strength so I can make that 50-50-50. There we go. It gives us strength and perception, and it gives us mono regen. All three of those are very important for me personally and for this build, so this works out best for me. Now we're going with skill damage boost, buff duration, and max health. Then we're going with the bracers of the Primal King, debuff duration, max health, and skill damage resistance. And to finish it off, we're going with the band of universal power. Now there are two ways to get this, okay? Personally, that the best ways to do it is with Lucent. You know what I'm saying? You can look it up and then get it from the auction place. But another way you can get it is from the material transmutation. If you go to equipment tab and then you hover all the way down here to the accessories, and then convert your coins until you max out the tier. I think it's tier 3 or tier 4. You max it out, and then you have a chance to get it as an actual drop, because you kind of want to do it that way if you're a free-to-play person. So yeah, it's best to just try to get it through the transmutation, or if you want, you can buy it. Next up, we got the amber band. We're going with the skill damage boost, max health, and buff duration. Then we're going with the girdle of spectral skulls, mono regen, stun resistance, skill damage. That's what we're going to go with on this one, and it gives us range defense and dexterity, right? So that's what the gear setup is. It's completely done, and then the weapons are completely done. Next thing I got to do is the runes on these, and I will be breaking down, when I do a rune guide, I will break down the synergies I will be using in this build. So like I said, stay tuned for that. I will be dropping that shortly. First things first, the patient block is the block you're going to be using for this build. And then also we're going to go ahead and talk about the skills. So the Abyssal Cleave, Gale Rush, Ice Spear Bombardment, Focus Fire Bombs, Flaming Arc, Phoenix Barrage, Icebound Tomb, Explosive Fury, Javelin Inferno, Victorious Energy, and Sentinel's Bastion, Judgment Lightning. For our passives, we got the Surge, Fatal Precision, Retaliatory Strike, Imposing Form, Flame Condensation, Forbidden Sanctuary, Mana Amp, and Asceticism. All right, so first up, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Spear. We got the first one checked off, or the Flaming Arc, to create flames, because it's more so like a flame and ice eradicator, but I like flame mostly, so we're going to use Flaming Arc. All right, so that's the first one, put that in there. Then we're going with the Javelin Inferno, so we're going to turn our Javelin into flames, so that's the Javelin Inferno. Then we're going with the second one. We're going to go with the Blitz extension to increase the attack speed effect duration for the Gale Rush. Then we're going with the Critical Cleave to have more crit and damage modifier. And on top of that, we're going with the Sentinel Bastion, but we're also going with the Unyielding Shield. You have to have this on for this skill, because you will create a shield for yourself, and absorbing damage is one of the best things for PvE and PvP, right? Then we're going with the Barrage, the Phoenix Barrage. That's the first one checked off. And then we're going with conditional damage, so we can increase the damage on targets with certain CC effects, right? Because this is a CC build. Moving on to our staff. For the staff, we're going with Focus Fire Bombs. The first 3 is checked off. I've already explained this in previous videos. Then we're going with the first 2 on Ice Spear Bombardment, the last 2 on Victorious Energy, and the last 2 on Icebound Tomb. Now this is up to you. You can take these off and put it somewhere else if you want to completely petrify the enemy that you're trying to face. Me personally, I like to just bind them. They can still attack me, but if they can't move, then it's a plus for me, because then I can just stun them right after. But I'll explain that skill rotation later. I told you that. So that's what we have for the skill specializations, the skills itself, and also our gear. Now, everything else I will be showcasing to you in the next video on how to do the skill rotation. So if you guys enjoyed this video, this quick way and easy way for you to basically copy and paste, and then I'll explain everything else in another video as far as like to actually use it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for the next video or part 2 of this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.